Okay, guys. For the next couple weeks, we're going to work on a personal finance unit provided to us through Junior Achievement. Um, there's going to be short videos. There's going to be some explanation. There's going to be some activities, and ultimately, there's going to be a pre and post test. You should have already taken the pre-test. So, our first assignment, our first unit, we're going to talk about is budgeting. We've already talked a little bit about budgeting when we talk about things like your being responsible for your college tuition, and how to pay for that, how to better pay for that with scholarship, with work study programs, with part-time jobs. That's all about budgeting. The key to budgeting is not spending more than you earn.
More items on your to do list than hours in the day? If you're in college, you know exactly what we're talking about. But there's one thing you should never be too busy to do, and that is taking time to make a budget. A budget is a financial plan that will help you make smart spending choices today while preparing for tomorrow. Budgeting will help you achieve your goals and prepare you for unexpected bumps in the road. So, what goes into making a budget? First, you'll need to track your income and expenses for a particular period of time, such as a month. You can use pen and paper, a spreadsheet, or a budgeting app. After that, making your budget comes down to a simple equation: what you earn minus what you spend. To determine your income, include items such as wages earned at work, allowances from family, and student financial aid such as grants or scholarships. To determine your expenses, include items such as tuition, books, rent, credit card payments, and car payments. Then simply subtract your expenses from your income. Are your earnings greater than your spending? If so, you could choose to invest, buy a new cell phone, or simply save for a rainy day. But what if you spent more than you earned? If that's the case, it's time to cut back on your expenses and balance your budget. You may also need to find a way to increase your income. Remember, everyone's budget is unique and it will fluctuate from month to month. So use a budget and be mindful of your daily expenses. That way, you can make sure you're spending your money on things that really matter to you. When you budget, you decide where your money goes instead of wondering where it all went. And there you have it, the basics of a budget. Now it's time to create your own. Go to studentaid.gov/budget to get started.
So I think the most important thing there is that we that came out of that video was the idea that we need to think before we spend. Pay attention to what we have to pay for in order to live, and then use the rest of that on what we want. The difference between wants and needs. The key to it all is making a plan. You can get that expensive phone, game, clothes, shoes if you make a plan and put back money that's available to you every week, every month. Eventually, you can make that plan, and um, it can you can buy what you want to buy with it. So, what is the definition of income from a video? What did income mean? It's money earned or received, including wages, gifts, allowances, financial aid, is what we said in that video. Another key term is the idea of a budget. It's a spending plan for managing money during a given period of time. What are expenses? What do expenses look like? It's anything you spend to buy or do something. Variable expenses. What's that word variable mean? It means changing. So there's expenses that vary from month to month, such as entertainment, electricity, and groceries. Now, as adults, we try to leave things like groceries as fixed as we can, but sometimes, like now, we're spending a lot more on groceries than we would in the past because we're spending less on restaurants, carry out, those kind of things. And maybe our electricity bill will go up now because we're at home more, and that will be variable month to month as well. Think about in the winter, the lights are on a lot more than they are in the summer. So those are why those are variable expenses. The idea of periodic expenses are expenses that occur in an irregular basis rather than monthly. Things like car repairs and doctor bills, things that you don't know you may not know you have to spend money on, but you do anyways. You can't get around car repairs. You can't get around a flat tire or an oil change, or when you get sick, doctor bills come up. Now, your assignment today is going to be to make a party budget. Just assume you're throwing some kind of party. You want it to be the coolest party you can. Um, You're going to have a PDF there with lists of things you can buy, including food, decorations, entertainment. Um, so you want to fill in the first column. Let me see if I can bring this up. So your first job is going to be to define the things we talked about: um, income, budget, expense, fixed, variable, and periodic expenses. Then this party budget challenge. So here's your list of prices. This is available on Classroom. All these things in food, in tableware, decorations, and entertainment are all there. You can pick whatever you want to fill out the total expenses row of your choices you make. So what type of expense is it? This just goes with category one. You're going to have entertainment. You're going to have tableware, decorations, food, snacks, and drinks. So you'll just start by choosing for entertainment what kind of entertainment you want. You can prioritize things, fill them in. Maybe if you want to prioritize decorations or food, fill that in first. But you want to make that whatever you want your party to be. You're going to enter into these columns here. Leave this blank for now. Okay. Now you're going to put in what you want, the quantity, and how much they cost. So if you do, let's say with the food and snacks, you want 2 large pepperoni pizzas. That's going to be under food and snacks, pepperoni pizza. It's food, it's two, and it'll be $30. Leave this blank for now. So that is your job. Make the best party you can make with the options you have. If you want to go out and find other things, if you want to use Amazon and shop for something different, you're more than welcome to. But you need to have at least 4 items under every category. Take some time to fill that out. When you're done filling that out, this column under total expenses, let's assume something drastic comes up: a car repair, a sickness in the family, maybe your washer breaks, your refrigerator needs replaced, something big happens. Now you need to go through there and figure out where you can cut the budget in half. How can you cut your budget in half so that once you've made adjustments, this will be twice what your final expenses are? Do you choose to trade off to maybe a karaoke machine instead of a DJ? Do you choose to cut down from pepperoni pizza to cheese pizza? Or do you just cut the quantities? Remember that you are trying to still entertain the same number of people and the same event. You're just trying to do so at half the expense that you originally had planned. So your final expenses for each category should be half of what your total expenses were the first time through. Once you've done that, I want you to fill in what your total expenses were and what your final expenses were. How you cut it, where you cut. Did you cut from entertainment? tableware, decorations, food, snacks, or drinks, and show me that you were able to cut your budget in half. Finally, the only thing left to do then is to answer these 4 questions at the end for this assignment. Uh, have you ever wanted something and didn't have enough money to buy it? What did you do? What do you think the consequences would be if you started spending more money than you earn? Why do so many individuals, families, cities, and states, even countries, have so much trouble spending money wisely? And can you think of any strategies to prevent this from happening? So, this is kind of a wrap up of what you learn about budgeting. How important is it? What are the downfalls of it? What are people's weaknesses, strengths, and what do you think you can do to make this, a viable tool for you in the future as you build your future? Finally, the last thing you have to do, there's a link provided. Take this quiz um, on budgeting, and that is our budgeting lesson. Hope you're all doing well. Meet me at office hours if you need to, and I will talk to you later. Thanks.